Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, that is Science Unlocked. And now here we will be moving towards the second part of the chapter, that is motion and measurement of distances. So the first topic that we are going to take up is about length and distances. So the concept is that what exactly length is and what exactly is its relevance with the concept of distance. Now length is something which will going to tell us that how long a particular object is. Whereas when we talk about distances, it gives us that how far the two things are or two locations are. Although they are somewhat related with each other, but obviously they are different from each other, because when we talk about length, these are the smaller distances, and when we talk about the distances, these are the longer length. So it seems like that they are similar, but they do have some like unique specificities, that length will be with references to small areas or small things that we will be covering up, small objects that we will be covering up, and on the other hand distances are actually the lengths which are going to be with reference to larger distances. Now, the concept comes in that this chapter is not only about these meanings and definitions of length and distances, but also the measurements. So, when we talk about that, how exactly the measurement was done for every individual in ancient time, this measurement was their own style or their own kind. But gradually, what happened is that the invention of scales came in, where the random things were totally cut off, and ultimately the specific units came in and specific measurements came in, because of which we started getting the unique and the exact values of lengths and distances. Otherwise, for someone the hand can be smaller, on the other hand the other person can be having a hand with a wider area covering over altogether. So obviously in the first case, the units that we will be getting in terms of length will be larger, whereas in the second case, where the area which the hand is covering is larger, the units will be lesser. So altogether we can say that the units that came into play lead to the ultimate uniformity of measurement system. So measurement is basically, the measurement is the ultimate thing that was required for this whole process, and it is actually the comparison of unknown things with the known things, because now we have fixed one thing, that length will be measured like this, distances will be measured like this, volumes will be measured by this, like this, and liquids will be measured by this particular unit, and like this. So on the whole, now we have a fixation of measuring process. So that is where now we have a known set of qualities and quantities, along with which we will be doing a comparative analysis, and we will be able to measure the unknown things. Now, whenever we talk about a measurement, it will going to have two components, a number as well as a unit, and the unit will be the deciding aspect of measurement, because as per the unit the number will going to change. For example, if we talk about a specific number, that is let us say 1 meter, what will happen? Automatically, if I am going to change the unit and I will change it from meter to centimeters, automatically the number will change. Now on the basis of number, we cannot change the unit randomly. I can straight away say that if I have to measure 5 things and I have to measure all of them in meters, I can do that thing. But if I say that I have to keep the number constant, I want the units to change, that cannot be taking place, because unit is the thing that is the constant aspect that we have created. So in that sense, one thing with reference to this aspect is that the unit will never change, only the number will changes, that a distance can be simply 4.5 kilometer and it is equivalent to 2.79 miles. So over here I have simply changed the miles and I have changed the kilometers to miles, so automatically my number changed from 4.5 to 2.79. So this is how the concept of measurement comes in. Now, what was happening is that when we talk about like why exactly this thing came into play and how exactly it has helped, is that whenever we talk about the basic ways or the initial ways of measuring the distances, it was the simple value which the individual was using for their own like convenience. For example, I can use my foot, I can use some other thing to measure the same distance. But on the other hand, what was happening is that it was leading to different set of chaoses, and it was ultimately leading to conflicts between the traders. So ultimately it was required to actually come with the aspect of measurement and a specific unit, that is the constant unit. Now, as we talk about the conflicts between the traders, one other aspect also came in, that what will happen in case that I am trying to provide a measurement for something which is at my local place to something which is far away from me, but as per their local area they have some other units. So this way what will happen, that something which is right as per me can turn out to be wrong as per the other person. For example, if I am talking about, let us say, distance between India and let us say America, just a hypothesis. So when we talk about the distance between the two countries, we can straight away say this thing, that for me, because I am using kilometers, it is x kilometers, or let us say give this x a number, it is approximately let us say how it can be, like let us say it is 1 lakh kilometers for an instance. But it's quite obvious, in case of kilometers we will going to have the problem in terms of the numbers. I am getting a huge number. So what I did is that I changed it to something which I wanted to change to, let us say miles. So it has been converted to something less number. And now if I am telling this thing to a person who is sitting in the Germany, and that person is saying that I don't know the concept of kilometers and I don't know the concept of miles, you tell me the number and you tell me the distance as per my local language. Here comes the concept that what will happen, that something is to be measured on a worldwide level. There came the concept of standard units of measurements, where scientists of different countries and different locations came all together and they started the international system of units, so that there is a standard value for every kind of measurement. And one such scientist was a French scientist, which came up with the concept of metric system that we use with reference to lengths and distances. And the SI unit for length is normally considered as meters, and we can use the same thing for large distances as well. But because in case of large distances, again the number will going to become very much higher in case of meters. So it has been used as kilometers. So if you are measuring the length of a book, in that case you will be telling us the difference or telling us the units in terms of meters. And if you are measuring the distance between two places, then you will be giving the value in kilometers. For this, ultimately we have come up with the conversion of units, that is in 1 kilometer there are certain meters exist, like the 1 kilometer has 1000 meters, 1 meters have 100 centimeters, 1 meter have 10 millimeters, which is coming from this standard unit chart, that is talking about the kilometer, hectometer, decameter, meter, decimeter, centimeter, millimeter. Now conversion is a whole set of different scenario where we move from smaller unit to the bigger unit. In that case we will have to divide the numbers. On the other hand, if we are moving from a bigger unit to the smaller unit, we just have to multiply the numbers with the multiples of tens. Now this is my kind of description about the change or conversion of the unit. If you will move into some other like other section or some other person who is explaining the same concept, there might be a possibility that they give you the answer with reference to some other aspect. So every time the way with which we present a thing can vary, but on the other hand the overall concept remains same. Now we move to the last part of the topic, that is talking about that how exactly we should be taking care of the different set of precautions that we should be taking care of while measuring. So the very first thing is using an appropriate measuring instrument. For example, if you want to measure a smaller thing and if you are taking something which is going to have a larger quantities, or is the instrument itself is very big, in that case it is not a efficient way of doing this thing. If you want to measure a small object, use a small instrument, and if you are measuring something bigger, then use a bigger instrument. That way it is considered as the usage of appropriate instrument. Then if we are talking about the curved surfaces or curved structures, in that case we cannot be using the conventional concept or conventional ways of scaling. So in the end of this session also we will be discussing about that how exactly we can use or we can measure the curved surfaces. Also, one important aspect is one should never ever use the broken instrument, because in that case the final reading will be a compromised reading. Now, the last aspect of precaution is that one should make sure that the position of sight with which the measurement is done should be the correct one. Because if we are changing the sight or the sight with the object or the measuring thing, then automatically we might be adding or subtracting some units or some numbers out of the whole unit. So one should always make sure that the point which you have to measure, the reading which you have to do, should be the correct sight from which you are taking it. Now we move to the last part of the chapter, that is measuring a curved line. The best way to do this thing is taking a thread or something which have the flexibility to turn into any shapes and thing. Go along, trace the curved surface, then take up that thread that you have used for measuring purpose, mark the starting and ending point, and on the whole ultimately you can simply take it and put it right in front of a scale, ultimately giving you the overall length of that curved surface that you are testing. So ultimately what we will see, that this is again, we are using a scale, we are using something which is straight and not curved, but this thread has made our way or our work easier. For marking purposes we can use different sort of colors, we can simply cut the things, or the thread to be more specific you can use knot process, that on one point you have put the knot, you have glued it to one point, and then you are measuring the other end of this curved surface or the curved line. So that is totally up to you, that how you proceed in that case, or which particular way you take up, but the process will remain same, that the thread will be used along the surface and it will be traced all over the surface, and then it will be taken right in front of a thread in a straight, right in front of a scale in the form of a straight thread. So this is how we do the measuring of curved lines and surfaces. So with this we are done with the topic, we are done with the chapter. Now in the next session we will going to discuss about something else, we will take up some new topic. Till then, keep learning and take care. Bye bye.